inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Devil in a red dress, call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress, call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang bang, got my hand, call 911.
Yo, yo, what's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? I think we got Nathan in the house.
What's going on, guys?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
How you
you. Can you hear
doing?
me?
Let me get you on the screen. Oh, there you go. All right. Hey, my afternoon freed up for about an hour, so I've decided why not go. Hey, sensational, dominational, masterclassational. Nathan, are you up for FIFA tonight?
Um, yeah, but I'm not sure when I'll be able to get on because I'm just playing career mode right now, and my wife should be home soon though. So who knows when I'll actually be able to get on?
Okay. Well, we'll keep in touch later and we'll see.
Yeah,
All right. So, um, listen, man. You know what I wanted to talk about?
tell
Does
me.
Milan feel like doesn't it feel like Milan is dead? Like it doesn't exist anymore? I mean, to me it does.
Yeah,
To me
yeah,
it feels like it's gone. Like Milan is no more. Like the team we used to love, the team we know, as of now, doesn't exist anymore. It's a relic of the past.
yeah.
Do you get that sensation too, or is it just me?
No, definitely for sure. Unfortunately, everything that was built up is been completely thrown away. So, um, not much we can do. Like, it's honestly ridiculous what has actually happened. And I think it's farcical that they now all of a sudden feel the need to try and go and be Italian again when
Yeah,
we had the right stuff from the beginning. So, and then
right.
just for them to like throw it away.
Hey, listen, I don't know if it's just me, but your sound like it's good, but every once in a while it does like a weird bass note.
Hmm, I'm not sure. Could be my
It's
AirPod.
good. Your sound is good. It just has this weird bass note. That it's like a beatbox bass note. But
How does it sound
yeah,
now?
listen, I what I'm very curious about is I got in two huge fights with Martino Puccio and Rohit about the Italians, right? Because they went along with a club narrative. I wonder what their tune is right now, because now the club is outwardly saying, "Yeah, we need to Italianize the team now."
Oh, well,
I
I'm sure they're gonna say we've been saying this from the beginning type bullshit. That's how all these
no way,
fucking
no way.
lame ass fucking people that we've been arguing with in the past. That's how they're all doing it now. So
I'm really
they're all
curious
gonna.
to know though what they're saying, because Rohit has blocked me, but Rohit is the one that, as far as I know, is still kissing the butt of the management. So I wonder what
Well,
he says about the Italian unification.
not just Rohit, but guys like Andon and Floki as well too. So I
Mm,
wonder if these guys will stop being fans. I wonder if they'll supporting Milan because these guys were vehemently against Italians. So if we actually do go back to being Italian, which I still highly, highly, highly doubt, but if it does happen, these guys need to come out and they need to come out and say something. I don't know what they're gonna say, but they need to say something.
yeah, yeah. I'm really curious to hear how that goes. Anyway, we have straight from the beaches of Malaysia. We have Antonio in the house. What's up, Antonio? Antonio has lost his voice because he's been
What's going on? What's going
deeper.
on?
Okay, there he is. How
Yo,
you doing,
yo,
Antonio?
how are you, man?
Good. How about you?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing really good, man. How's it going?
Oh yeah, you're doing good. I'm doing good. How about you? Are you doing good?
We're doing pretty mutually good.
How's Malaysia?
Favorite country, favorite country.
I bet.
Have you linked up with Abdi yet?
I'm looking for him. I'm looking for him. I'm having a hard time finding him.
What happened to the protest fans did in February? Did they stop? Which protest did they do in February? The fans, I mean, the football is still singing every game. Huh, dude, you know what Scaroni said? Scaroni, yeah, Scaroni's my favorite. He said that the reason why we're having bad results is because of the bad energy of the Kurva. These,
Of the
these,
curva?
yeah, dude, these guys will blame everyone, but they'll never blame each other. They will blame Maldini. They will blame Malaysia. They will blame Andon, Flocky. They'll blame their own mothers, but they will never blame themselves. We have the worst, the worst, the worst, the worst, the worst. Nothing is worse than what we have right
Yeah. If I had the money, like if I was like an Arab investor, they offered an insane amount of money and no other option other than to say yes, I would literally release everybody
now.
in Milan and I would let Maldini choose from the ground up who he wants to be there. That's what I would
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't give
Mo,
anyone any chance whatsoever. It would be 100% Maldini's decision to give them a call. If you don't receive a call, well, you just don't have a job. That's how that is. That's what I would do.
most most sane people would do that. Most sane people would do that. How's your dad, Antonio? How's he doing?
Oh, he's alive.
Yeah. When is he going to apologize to me?
Uh-oh.
He's actually right next to you right now.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
put him on the phone. Tell him to apologize to me. Go ahead. I'm waiting. Guido, you
No, he
there?
doesn't want to say anything.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about our favorite team, Inter. Wow, another semifinal for Inter, huh?
Yeah.
What do you, Nathan? You're a Barcelona. I mean, you're not a Barcelona fan, but you're a
Oh
Barcelona
no, I'm a
sympathizer.
Barcelona fan through and through.
Oh, okay. So, what do you think Inter chances are versus Barcelona?
Uh, well, Inter is the team who their style directly disrupts Barcelona's style of play. The only problem with Inter is that they aren't as consistent as they were last year. If
Mm.
this was Inter from last year or the year before, I would feel a lot more confident. But this year, like you can easily get to their back line. They don't seem to be as a very good cohesive unit at the moment.
But, but the stats say that Inter has
Yeah,
a really
yeah,
really
and
good
they,
defensive team.
yeah, but I don't care about stats. I watch the game, and when I watch the game, I go off of what I'm seeing. And they give up a lot of counterattacks
Space.
and chances. They might not get scored on, but the chances that they give up are this year is is kind of worrying, especially when you're up against a team like Barcelona who operates their speciality is operating in small spaces. And with Lewandowski and Rafinha and Yamal, you can't give these types of chances to them. You can give them to teams like like Dortmund, who have Gerasi, who in the first leg misses a point blank chance by whiffing the ball. Like if you give that to Lewandowski, he's gonna destroy you every time. So
So who do you have going through? Who do you think is going to go through?
Man, to be honest, Barca has a slight edge over Inter at the moment.
Like 51-49, something
Yeah,
like that.
I would say like 55-45.
55-45. All
Yeah.
right. What happened to? Oh no, I already read that one. Um, Antonio, what about you? Who do you think is going to go through? What do you think about Inter getting to the semifinals, Antonio?
No, dude, that's a good question. I would say the final is going to be Arsenal versus Barcelona.
Oh, you think Arsenal's gonna get past PSG?
Yeah, I mean PSG's been good though, to be fair, but I just think that Arsenal's solid. Arsenal's a solid team. It's gonna be hard. Like, PSG had a lot of chances against Aston Villa, and I think Arsenal can defend well. But also, like, I think if Inter beats Barcelona, I think Inter's winning the whole thing. So, like, I don't think
I
it's gonna
agree with
happen.
that.
But if Inter beats Barcelona, I think Inter's gonna be
I can
it's
agree
gonna
with
be
that.
depressing for sure.
Um, Antonio, on the Arsenal thing, I know they looked good against Madrid, but unfortunately, Milan also looked good against Madrid. Um, I think many of us here have talked about
That's a good point.
Hey,
many of us here have
Fonseca.
talked about yeah, but Fonseca, uh, I mean, it is what it is. Many of us here have already talked about how unbalanced Madrid is. And yes, they have Mbappe, but you can clearly see that there's no cohesion at all, and their midfield is a definite step down from the Modric, Cruz, and Casemiro midfield. And
Cruz is not playing anymore, right? He's out. Is he still at the
uh,
team?
I don't know. I don't know if he's injured. I don't know. I think he might be injured, just out for a
Mm.
He
long
retired.
time.
He retired like last year. Like I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Don't
he's
you guys
retired.
remember that?
Mm.
I thought it was
No, I
from
don't.
from the national team. I can't even remember, to be honest. But
Mm.
Madrid just seemed really unbalanced, and unfortunately, Arsenal play like a mini Barcelona, just not as efficient. So it was just a really bad matchup.
Well, listen,
So
I
we'll have
Yo,
to
didn't
see.
Nathan.
see.
Nathan. Wait, guys, one second.
Yeah,
The sounds coming from Nathan's mic right now sound like someone's either being strangled or I don't know what the hell
that
that
is
is,
so
but
crazy.
it sounds like a frog. I don't know.
Hold on.
Like a fraud.
It better not be
I
your
s-
wife burping, bro.
uh static. Listen, I saw the highlights of the first game, the game that
Yo,
Arsenal
Paul's in the
won.
chat.
Oh no. Hold on, let me get to Paul in a second. But I saw the stats, the highlights of the first Arsenal Madrid game. I didn't see the second one. And Madrid had tons of chances, man. They could have won that game. I mean, Arsenal just really had incredible free kicks from Declan Rice. They had some chances, but Madrid had all the chances in the world to win that game. They just weren't clinical.
Two things. Two things about that though. I agree with you. The first game Madrid had chances. Second game though, they go to the Bernabeu and Madrid did not have that many chances. And
I
also on
didn't see
top
it.
of that,
Okay.
when we played Madrid, it was in the it was in the group stage or whatever. And Real Madrid
Right.
always like loses some of those games, but in the knockouts to beat them that way, it's like I think I think they're really they show that they could be solid, and I never really questioned them like their attacking ability. So I think they're a good team. Now, I mean, I think Barcelona's playing the best out of all the teams, but I think
I don't
Arsenal's
know. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I saw Barcelona. I saw Barcelona versus who did I see Barcelona play against?
I mean, against Dortmund, the second leg, they weren't that good, to be
Yeah,
fair. But the
yeah,
first
yeah.
leg, they
That's what
just
I saw.
dominated them.
Yeah, I don't know if they were just playing to keep the result, but Barcelona didn't look good at all. To be fair,
How do I sound now? Is the still the same?
sounds good to me right now. Your sound is good, but every once in a while you hear like a frog, rabbit, rabbit. But right now it sounds perfect right now. I think you're good.
All right.
All right, so let me respond to Edison. Do the Suns still leave the game? No, they never left the game. They just I don't know what they were doing, but they don't leave the game now. I think they start singing after. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. Where's Red John? Red John has been, Red John. Today has been a devastating day for Red John because the news came out that Milan is ready to sell Chukwueze in the summer. Red John was ready to bet everything he owned that Chukwueze was going to be the best player in the Serie A. So he's hiding, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I would hide too if I had picks like that. I hope Inter go through, man, for the sake of Serie A. And by the way, Eklas in Posado. Guys, I wanna talk about this Inter thing. So I think that there's two things, and I want to know if you guys share the same opinion or what you think. When I see Inter play, one, I'm pissed off. It makes me angry. Can you guys mute? Someone is making tons of noise. When Inter is playing in the Champions League, one, it makes me really angry because it makes me think that Milan, when Maldini was at Milan, especially the year before Cardinale came in, Maldini closed that gap with Inter, and we were right there. And I really think that if Maldini would have stayed and Gianni Cardinale would have never come, we would have surpassed Inter by now. We would be the best team in Italy. We would have been the best project. We would have played the best. We would have had that European DNA that Maldini would bring to the table. So it angers me to see that because we were so close to Inter, and I'm sure again that if Cardinale never came into the picture, we would have surpassed Inter with Maldini at the helm. So that makes me angry. But at the same time, I'm happy because Di Marco, Barella, Frattesi, Bastoni, Acerbi, all these Italian players that all these YouTube experts like Rohit would have said these guys are not good enough for Milan, 6 years ago. Now they get to play for the second time in the semifinals of the Champions League. Maybe they get to play a final again. And it's good experience for them, which is good for the national team. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy that the Italian players at Inter are playing important games in Europe because it helps the national team in the end. And also, I do have a little bit of that Serie A bias. But I'm also pissed off because I really think if Maldini would have stayed, Milan would have surpassed Inter by now, and we would be the top dogs in Italy. What do you feel about that, Nathan? How do you feel about that? Are you there? I
Can you
don't
hear
think
me?
Nathan. I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what the heck's going on. Um, no, I completely agree. You can see the progress that was being made and under Maldini, and the fact that we even got to a semifinals with spending no money basically tells you everything. Which means if we had the money, if we gave him more money, we would have surpassed Inter then.
Yeah.
Like that's literally we literally went from step to step to step, and each year we grew. So it's not, you know, unthinkable to say, well, if we would have just kept them and we would have kept our people, we would be even better at this moment.
Yeah. I'm convinced. I'm convinced. Now, listen, the first year of Cardinale, we didn't know what was going on, but then we learned that Cardinale decided not to do anything. And now we know why Maldini was had such a difficult year that year. But the moment Cardinale stepped in, Milan lost steps, just lost steps.
Yep,
We were so
100%.
close. We were so close to Inter, and just we closed the gap. We pretty much were there, and it's not like Inter has improved that much, but they've gotten more mature.
Yeah.
but we had way more headspace to grow than Inter did.
Yeah, Mike.
You know, we had way more space to grow. Our ceiling was much higher. So not only we almost closed the gap, but we still had a lot more to grow. We could have been right now like one of the best teams in Europe. I think we could have been one of the best teams in Europe right now. But unfortunately, because of fans like Paul, we get to have Furlani. Uh, Furlani doesn't want to admit that their calculations and decisions were wrong. Now they're trying to go back to the roots by Italianizing the club, but without Milanismo, Milan's DNA in management. Yeah, listen, and I think that even if you do bring Italians on the club, uh, maybe things are going to get better, but it's never going to. Like you need, it's the leadership, it's the ownership. It really comes down to that. That's the key factor. But at least we can say that Milan is back to being an Italian team, not an MLS Premier League foot kick team.
Hold on,
How
you said at
much
least
di-
Milan is going back to an Italian team?
if they do Italianize, like
Uh,
how much difference do you think it's going to make if Milan start to Italianize you?
um, I think it's gonna make a big difference, but it depends on who we bring in and who we allow to promote, because none of these foreign guys understand what it means to actually wear the jersey. Like, don't get me wrong, guys like Pulisic, they work hard. Like, I like Pulisic, he's a hard worker, but none of these guys really understand what it means to like when you watch Tonali play, you realize that, man, this guy right here, he understands what it means to wear the jersey. But a lot of these other guys,
Yeah,
like they have no
yeah,
respect for the history whatsoever.
right. And it's just not built inside of it. Like either you have someone like Maldini that kind of builds that attachment, you know, or you're born in Italy and you get it. You understand. You know what it means to play for Milan, and these
And
things are
that's a
real.
good point.
People,
That's a good point that you just said. Um, Maldini will help build that because um, look at Teo and Leao. They
yeah,
need Maldini there. Maldini is the reason why that these guys even are as good as they are. But that tells
yeah,
me a lot that these guys don't even understand what it means to wear the jersey unless Maldini's the one that's teaching them. Like, I don't want people
right,
that have to real like relying on Maldini is obviously not a bad thing. But after all this time, if you guys still don't have the respect to play how you normally play, regardless of the situation, that doesn't look good either. Like,
yeah,
Tonali didn't need Maldini to be Tonali, but
right.
Leao and Teo need Maldini to be Leao and Teo, and I think that's a problem. So that's why I was saying we need guys, especially from the Primavera, we need them to be in the first team and actually play because these
Yeah,
guys understand what it means to be a Milan player
right.
because they grew up
Because
in the system.
they're born there.
Right.
They're born in that city.
Exactly.
They live in that city. They speak the language. They live the tradition.
Exactly.
Um, by the way, there's some new Italian young players coming up, which are very interesting. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So Kim says, imagine the scenes if PSG wins the UCL without Mbappe. Do you think PSG can win the UCL? What do you say?
Oh, definitely. They are playing really good. And I'm not going to take the one off with Aston Villa. I mean, you could tell they took their foot off the gas in that second game. Um, you can say the same thing with Barcelona against Dortmund. Like, there's no way that under any other circumstance would something like that happen or be that close. PSG is playing incredible at the moment. So that's why I was asking Antonio if he
Um,
really thought PSG would lose to Arsenal because Arsenal, yeah, they beat Madrid, but I mean Milan beat Madrid too.
yeah,
So
Milan beat Madrid with Jessica and Fofana in the middle. I mean,
uh,
come on.
right. So
If you can beat Real
it's not
Madrid with
that.
reindeers and Bafana, you can anybody will beat Real Madrid.
Yeah, so it's not really that like impressive to beat this version of Madrid. It's not impressive.
Yeah, it's just like look, they are definitely their stomach is full. Real Madrid isn't going to win every year. This is not very
Welcome
good. This
home.
is not very good.
Yeah, like it's. I won't even say that their stomach is full because a lot of their players haven't won it, especially in the midfielders have only won it once, but yeah, without a proper striker,
I would say the environment, right? The environment. Maybe you're
well,
right. Compared to still
it's
young, but
it's
they're still going to
Mbappe.
win it in the. They're probably still going to win it in the future, but just not this
I,
year.
I don't know because I really don't think I could say that completely because Mbappe
Why
is
not?
the reason. No, Mbappe
Yeah,
is the reason why this team is failing,
yeah,
and I
but
can say
there's
that
no,
I can say that with confidence.
but there's always the summer mercatos, and Real Madrid ain't Milan. They ain't doing Moneyball. You know, if they have to fix things, they will. Like right now, I'm seeing they want to bring Tonali into the squad. They want to start to, they're going to, they're going to operate to win it. Whether they can do it or not, I don't know. But this time, Mbappe, obviously, he can't play that role. He needs to be a winger or a second striker. And you can't and you have basically Vinicius Junior and Mbappe that play the same position, so that is a problem. But remember, the summer markets, Madrid is going to operate for the most part well, I would assume. So I'm saying in the future, let's see what they do in the summer first, and then we can analyze.
I mean, even I just don't see it because w- even let's say you sacrifice Rodrigo, let's say you sacrifice him and you get a striker, Vinny and uh and Mbappe don't play defense, so you're still gonna have the same problem of nobody tracking back to help the defense. Then you got to go to their midfield. Their midfield, not a single one of them are actual ball winners. Camavinga and Chouamani and Bellingham are good technical players, but none of these guys are ball winners.
Yeah, but again,
And
Nathan, we don't know what that team is going to look like in 2 seasons. There
mm,
might be complete. There might be new midfielders that can change the situation, right?
well, it's funny because I don't know if you saw the reports, but Madrid is interested in Tonali as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tonali, they probably want. I don't know who else is there right now, but Madrid is always looking for the best. They're always looking for the best. They're not going to waste their time on moneyball operations like Clown Milan does. So I think that they're still going to be competitive, and they might still win more in the future.
I mean, yeah, they'll
I,
be
I'm
competitive because it's still Madrid at the end of the day. I just
Yeah,
don't
it's
think
still
they're going to
Madrid.
win anything as long as Mbappe is there. They're not going to win
Yeah,
anything. I really do. I mean, yeah, they'll probably win like a league title maybe, or but Champions League, nah, it's not
we'll
happening.
see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So what about Bastoni saying he was Milanista? Did you see this? Bastoni said he
I
was a
did.
Milanista.
I mean, it's not surprising to be honest. Milan is the bigger of the two teams,
That's right.
and
That's 100% right.
so yeah, in recent years, we are not the bigger of the two teams, but overall, we are 100% the bigger team. So, I mean,
But
it's not surprising. We
Milan
just missed
just
out
got
on another Milanisa. That's all it is.
we missed out on so many great
Sorry.
Italians because of our stupid ownership and because of that stupid growth decree. That
Yeah,
growth decree,
yeah,
still to this day, is the dumbest thing that has ever happened to Italian football. Nothing is dumber than the growth decree. Anybody here that celebrates the growth decree, you are a moron. You have the IQ of a piece of paper. The growth
yeah.
decree did nothing but damage Italian football. Guys, look who we have here in the chat. The man, the myth, the legend who told his friends to never talk to me again because I'm a bad person. Hans Erdmann. I need to know if Raspadori is still better than CDK, Nathan.
I mean, is Raspadori in a better position?
I think
One
Raspadori.
person, one person starts and has almost probably two or three times the amount of league starts than the other. But when you look at the goal contribution, they have almost the same number of goals. CDK obviously has more assists because he plays underneath the striker, but CDK also has a lot more game time.
Yeah, and
But
I think
but
Raspadori is a little bit.
who's fighting for the title and who's not fighting for the title?
But I also think that another analysis that needs to be made here is that Raspadori is in a situation of Napoli that is not really favorable to him.
Yeah, and
Um,
again, CDK is playing. Remember, I told you that I said it when we first got CDK. Atalanta and Club Brugge are basically the same team when it comes to the weight of the jersey. So again, this is not surprising that CDK is doing well at Atalanta because that's his speed.
um, sorry, say that again. I missed it.
I was saying
Uh,
um CDK is doing good at Atalanta because Atalanta and Club Brugge are the same in terms of pressure. So
oh, oh,
it's not surprising that he's doing well. I mean, I said that the moment we got
yeah. And
CDK,
listen,
that Club
he's
Brugge
doing.
is the same thing as Atalanta, so he should be
Yeah,
doing well, and I'm glad
he's.
he is.
I mean, he's had a little bit of a pause for a while, but he started the season off really well, and he was doing well. But ever since Atalanta started losing and kind of losing positions, CDK has been a little bit silent. But in my opinion, if you ask me, I still would pick Raspadori
Yeah, me,
over CDK.
I would, I would take him too. I would still take Raspador.
Yeah, and I would
CDK
like to
has already
see.
demonstrated that he cannot handle a big team, so
Now
uh,
that I don't know.
I
I don't
mean,
know if I agree with that
well, I
because
guess he
I
can't.
don't.
I'll say this: he can't handle a team who has a heavy jersey.
But this is a concept that I don't really believe in. So I don't know if I agree with that. The jersey thing. I think that maybe he couldn't at first, but you get used to it after a while, right? If you stay, you get used to it.
Well,
And
this is
also
the problem. But
as
this
you
is the
get
problem,
older,
though.
also you get used to it.
Well, yeah, but this is the problem. Milan, just like at Madrid or any other prime time big team, you don't get time.
Unless Furlani got you.
Well, yeah, unless Ferlani bought you. Like other than
Yeah,
that, you don't get time. Like it sucks. I wish CDK was given more time. Who knows what could have happened.
yeah,
But if you don't perform right away, then it is what it is.
yeah. But if I was given the option, would you choose CD if or Raspadori to build, let's say, your offensive line? I would definitely choose Raspadori over CDK, and I have no doubt about that.
Hmm.
Okay, the damage you two, right? Yeah, I think we agree on that. The damage is already done with this management. Doesn't matter which Italians come in unless it's Tonali. Oh, we lost. We lost. The damage is already done with this management. Doesn't matter which Italians come in unless it's Tonali who bleeds from Milan. Well, I mean, there's a lot of Milanisti in Italy that play football. There might be others. Tonali obviously was the perfect one. I agree that, and I said it from day one, Hans. You were the one that didn't agree with me, and you were the one here saying that Furlani and these guys did an amazing mercato and amazing this. But as long as these guys are running the club, you're not going to get the Milan that you think. Nathan, under Maldini, there was a sporting project going on the right track. By winning a Scudetto and reaching the UCL semifinals, the Fulani Government League's project was destroyed. Yeah. Under Fulani Munkala, the club's in a disarray. Absolutely, it is. But listen, Jerry. We like to say Fulani, and Fulani is the worst of the worst, no doubt about it. But Jerry, guys, it really comes down to Jerry. It's his plan. It's his idea. It's his plan. He's the one that wants to do this money ball thing and wants to turn Milan into uh, a brand, and that's it. Lord, I wish you guys could bring Old Heart Rosario in this post. Yeah, we can invite him. Listen, so we're going to obviously soon we're going to start as the season. There's only six games left until the end of the season. So as the season ends, we're going to get back into going live. I'm thinking of doing something like a Pierce Morgan show. You know how Pierce Morgan has a show uncensored, where he brings in people with different views and they fight each other out. I'm thinking of doing something like that. So if I'll see, we'll see. I watch him every day. Okay. Paul, a British probably go support that dude. I like old Hardcore Story, but he was way too late. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Listen, guys. The officially speaking, aside from Nico and maybe his crew over there, all of AC Milan YouTube is trash. All of them have no clue about football. Literally all of them. They're all just hype cheerleaders. Guys, the one time I said Milan, the one time, look at the difference. The one time that me, Roy, hyped Milan to win the league was the year we won the league. Because I analyze things without the Milan glasses on. When I do analysis, I take off the Milan shirt. When I do analysis, I take out the Milan. I just do analysis because it's more fun. Doing fantasy analysis and supporting your team just because it's your team and pretending that your team is the best just because it's not fun to me. And unfortunately, that's what 99% of English Milan YouTube does. And unfortunately, Old Heart Rosarino does fall in that category. And he's the kind of guy that today he'll say Furlani out, but if Milan wins the next game, he'll say Furlani in. PSG will reach the tournament, believe so, but beats Inter, then with the UCL by beating PSG. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. The way I see it right now, honestly, I haven't seen all the teams, not every game, but some of the games. I think it's really close. I think all the teams are close to each other. Um, I think all the teams are close to each other. They all have weapons. They all have ways to win. They're all teams that could beat each other any given day. I don't think there's a team there that is just two steps above the rest. They're all more or less in the right area. I think a lot of it is going to come down to episodes, maybe even luck, or maybe not. Maybe you're right. Maybe Barcelona is just going to throw all of them, but I don't think so. From what I'm seeing, I think it's going to be very close all around. Arsenal, who would like to see win it, or PSG? Arsenal. Uh, Arsenal, yeah, they can win. I think all four of these teams are there. All four of these teams are there. Remedy pronunciation failed. They're probably going to blow it up from what it looks like. They would have to clear out fully. Nah, no way, man. What are you talking about? Oh my God. SB, man. What? This has to be the worst take of the day. They are probably going to blow it up from what it looks like. They would. SSB, where did you get this from, man? So if Real Madrid has it failed, what has Milan done? Jesus Lord. Guys, you can't win the Champions League every year, okay? Like some years you don't win it. Some years you get kicked out by other teams. But guys, Real Madrid has won in the past what 7, 10 years. How many times have they won it? Five or even more? I don't even know. I've lost count. To say that the project has failed, bruh, that is crazy. Real Madrid are also after Di Marco. Yeah, they're going to bring in the players, guys. And maybe they're going to win or they're going to lose. But if you are here thinking that Real Madrid is done and you don't need to worry about them anymore, bruh, you might as well live in Narnia, in the mountains of Narnia, and hunt for leprechauns or something. Madrid is waiting for Simone Inzaghi. Roy, I disagree. Today there was reports by Real Madrid more than cost. Yeah, because I don't disagree with that because 58 million for a defender from the EPL, probably equivalent to let's say that defender in the EPL that cost 58 million, if he was in Serie A, would probably cost 10 million. So I don't think this really states whether or not they're doing Moneyball or not. But the EPL is just, it's like which defender in the EPL costs 58 million? Give me it. Come on. 58 million. Who is it? Do you know who it is? Can you give me his name? I really rate Job Bellingham. Who the fuck is who the hell is Job Bellingham? Is his name Joe? You mean Jude Bellingham, or do you mean the brother? Is his name? I don't know who you're talking about. I think you're probably mean Jude. I'd love to see him and Casadei at Milan. Casadei, man, what an opportunity! We had Casadei right there. Now he's at Torino. This guy was the U20 MVP. He was there for the taking. Instead, we've got Bodo, guys. Bodo. We have the worst midfield in Europe. What a disaster. What a disaster. These YouTubers keep entertaining the prospect of sporting directing news headings like that. You know what? I will the so-called expert YouTubers, they're already hyping it up. I'm sure Rohit is talking about how the team next year is the greatest thing since sliced bread. These guys are all delusional. They all live in a fantasy land. They just don't know football. They just get caught by the hype. They just like to get hype, and then they sensationalize, then they cheerlead, and then they present themselves as experts. You're not an expert. You're just a cheerleader, nothing else. You're just a delusional fan cheerleader, nothing else. But me personally, I am going to adjudicate how Milan does next year after I see what they do. Now, there are certain things that I think that won't change much. Like you have to build a group. You have to build a group. You have to build a foundation. These guys aren't doing that. They're not even trying to do that. They're actually just selling tons of players, buying tons of players every season. They're just throwing anything at the wall and hoping something sticks. So I don't know if that works, but we'll see. We'll adjudicate Milan once they get all that stuff down, and we'll figure out. We'll know whether or not it's going to be a good project or not. Most likely, it's going to be a bad project, but we will see. My conspiracy, my conspiracy theory is that Fulham are forcing coaches to play all attacking football because somehow Concern used to only play defensive football, but at Milan he just went to 3-4-3. A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that. Um, it could be true, it could be not true. I don't know. Maybe from a coaching perspective, he probably thought that Fonseca prepared this team to play a certain way, and it was too late for him to change. It could be that, or it could be that they're telling him, "Yo, you have to play this way. You have to put four strikers on the pitch." Look, the three at the back on this channel, we've been saying it forever. Milan has a perfect. trio on the back. Gambia in the middle. If you do a three at the back, there's not many players better than Gambia to be that middle player. There's really not many players. Like Gambia in the middle and a three in the back, and then you have Pavlich on the left, Tomori on the right. That's a really good balanced uh, trio. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I mean, give me the job because I saw this day one. These guys figure it out now. Guys, give me the job. I'll do it much better. Gambia in the middle, Pavlich on the left, and Tomori on the right. Both those players aren't great with the ball, but they do bring physicality. While Gambia is more of a that knows more technical, he knows how to distribute, is more positional, much more organized, more tactical. Yeah, it's perfect, and it covers for the lack of midfield. Our midfield is composed out of a bunch of cats. Now, I don't know if 3-4-3 is going to work against better teams. I still think that 3-5-2 is what they should do, but we will see if 3-4-3 is going to work against better teams. We'll see. Check the stats on CDK. I've checked the stats. I follow every player. Of course I follow CDK because he is tied to Milan. But this is you see this is the bad analysis. This is a bad. This is a bad. And why would I even engage with this analysis? Raspadori is blocked by Raspadori shouldn't be at Napoli, honestly. The formation Napoli plays is not suited for Raspadori because Raspadori is not a winger. I mean, he could be a winger, but they have Neres there, they have Politano. Raspadori is either a cam or a second striker, or you can use him as a false nine. And Napoli doesn't play like that. So Raspadori is kind of wasting his career there. I think you put Raspadori in a team where they play a formation that suits him. Yeah, his numbers would be the way they were when he was playing them with Sassuolo. Now, this I agree with. I listen. I always stated that CDK just needed to grow, but to say that I'm not going to compare CDK. CDK has been a star. Like if you put Espadori in Atalanta, you probably get way space, right? Yeah. Would you sign Gasperini, Italiano, Sani, or De Zerbi, or the Biff Allegri? Would you say? I would go for Gasperini all the way. Especially because Gasperini has made a success out of what our awful owner is trying to do. I will go with Gasperini all the way. Italiano is great. He's done a great job in Bologna. Sarri is awesome. De Zerbi, maybe. Allegri, not a chance, but whatever. Alex, he typed up was praying for your all's channel. He wants the exact same opinion as y'all. I don't know who that is. That's good to hear. Roy, are you ready for Sportelli to reclaim the greatest backup goalkeeper performance of all time as Antonio Roma Coppa Italia Leeds in 2018? That was an amazing performance from Antonio. Rohit and his band on YouTube is a joke, man. Rohit is terrible. He's terrible. It's so easy. It's easy to do that now, yeah? It's easy to do that now. In your opinion, Roy, will the combination of Tade and Allegri be good for us? Um, I don't think Tade is anything special, yeah, first of all. And also, I was looking at Tade. Tade is not that Tade has really done incredible operations. I think the biggest operation he ever did was one player for 20 million. But most of his operations have been like free, signing players for free. I guess he's good at that, signing players for free. Allegri, I don't know. It's hard to say. I'd have to see the team. I'd have to see what he's working with. Um, on look, if you put well, the issue still remains the management. It's hard to say. I'd have to see the full team. I just those two people there aren't enough for me to give you a strong opinion. Obviously, if you would say, "What do you think of Tare Seca?" I'd say no, not a chance. Tare Conceição, not a chance. Tare Allegri might be an X factor there. Tare, I don't think is going to be an X factor. I generally think Sportello can start on any team outside the top four in Italy. Oh yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Yeah, 100%. Roy, the 3-4 suits are counter we have, but still we're missing key players in midfield. Think I don't necessarily agree with that. The 3-4. I mean, it suits the play. First of all, if you look at that 3-4-3, the way we defended was a 3-2-3. You defend, sorry, a 5-2-3. Okay, fine. You're going to play against Udinese. Look at the table of Udinese. Udinese has secured Serie A for next season. There's no way they can make Europe, not even Conference League. Udinese isn't going to give AC Milan a fight. And these guys are already in holiday. Their season is done. They're finished. Their objective, the season is over. They achieved it. They're not going to go to Serie B. They have done the 40 points to stay in Serie A. They cannot make Europe. So it's not like Udinese is the team to see whether or not a 3-4-3 works. But if you, I did watch that game. I did see that game, and off the ball, Milan is playing a 5-2-3. You play that against a better team, you're gonna get punished. You're gonna get punished. So I necessarily agree with this 3-4-3. Um, I don't think the 3-4-3 can be effective against a team like Napoli or a team against Inter, where the midfield just has just those two players, Pulisic and Leao. They're not going to come down all the way down the line. You need another midfielder in there. Milan is good like shit, bro. The truth is very simple. Milan has been built like crap. Yeah, because the current midfielders are bad in defense, you need probably another midfield. Like, are you going to just? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not convinced with the 3-4-3. I'm not convinced. We'll see. We'll see. This is my opinion. We'll find out. We'll find out soon. Now, I am convinced about three in the back for sure. Teo Hernandez is a wing back for sure. Even Jimenez is a wing back. I mean, I think we should bring Salamakers back. And I think if you bring Salamakers back, then maybe you can do a 3-4-3. With Salamakers, I think you can do a 3-4-3. Not with the current players that we have right now. With Salamakers, I think you can do a 3-4-3. Yeah, because then you can. I mean, honestly, I would sacrifice the striker. Get rid of the striker. We don't need the strikers. The strikers are all trash anyway. I would just keep Lau and Pulisic up top and stack up the midfield and stop being a team that concedes a million goals. It's funny how Real Madrid fans praise Raheem for having the most creative and being the best presser of the ball. So, yeah, yeah, yes, he was incredible off the ball. He was incredible. His pressing was absolutely insane. But the experts couldn't see it. Um, so what else is there? Oh, I have some very interesting news, guys. I have some very interesting news. So apparently, guys, the whole story about Maldini going to Dubai and trying to talk to people to buy the club is 100% true and confirmed. Maldini has been going to Dubai, and he has been talking to different prospect buyers, and there was something in motion that was going to happen. The idea, this is 100% true. They were ready to get the pay the vendors loan and then get the rest of the club. But uh, but then the club, there was this investigation that happened with the club, and and since then they stopped. But now, guys, it has been completely confirmed. Maldini is trying to get the club. So, guys, cross your fingers. What was supposed to happen was the 3-for-3 of Mike. Okay, I will go Mike Teo Tomori on the left, center left, Gabia in the middle, Kalulu center right, Salamakers as a wing back. Yeah, that's a strong defensive five. Benna Tuna AC man. Che sì, Tonali, Leao, Osimhen, Pulisic. Oof. You need more in the midfield. I think you need more. But I'll see that. That'll be nice. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, guys. This is my opinion. You guys can have your own opinion, but I think that only two midfielders against better teams is going to be a problem. It's going to be a real problem. But yes, this story about. Oh, here's another doozy for you. Here's another one, guys. Mike Magnan seems to be on his way out, guys. I don't know if other channels or Sempre Milan has reported this yet, but essentially, from what I know, they they offered Mike Magnan a contract, and they had agreed on a contract, and now it looks like Milan has stepped back, and they want to, and they have gone back, and they want to offer him less now. I mean, that's now this is. I think this is true because the I think this is true, and if this is true, I think Mike Mayan is gone, which is fine. So we're selling Mike Mayan this summer. Apparently, Mike Mayan is very angry at the club because they had agreed on a renewal contract, but now Blondie came to him with a smaller number after they had agreed on it. I don't know if this news has come out yet on the different sources, but this is what I heard from what I think are reliable sources. And if this is true, we might be losing Mike Mayan for around 40 million. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Who cares at this point? Who we lose? Doesn't even matter. Jerry will sell it. Oh, I hope so. Lilian, if they do, I will send you a postcard with AC Milan badge in it. Ebred did say he talked to Osimhen on the last days of the summer market. Yeah, I know they tried to get him. They tried. I remember that, but obviously that's a difficult one. That's a difficult one. That's not an easy one to get. As far as the summer goes, yeah, this thing about Italianification of the club. My worry is this when it comes to the Italianification, because I think that the most important thing in a club is the ownership and the management. They are the keystone of how a club operates. I hope that Milan. This is my nightmare. That Milan does this Italianification, then they fail, and then all the Milan fans are like, "Oh, Italians are crap. We should never get Italians ever again." I talked to Rihanna, but she didn't respond. Yeah, she's like that. I'll hold your word to this. Well, yeah, you better. Yeah, if they sell after the World Cup, I'll send you a postcard for sure. I think that's what we all want, and what we all want and we all need. Yeah, guys. As far as next season, I'm not going to say my opinion yet. I still don't know whether or not it's going to be a good season or a bad season. I mean, things to consider are this, right? On the positive side, Milan will probably have Europe. If they have Europe, then nah, it's going to be a tough season. But if Milan doesn't have Europe, that can change things. That can change things. And but we're not. I don't know. We're going to judge. We're going to judge the team once we see it. Judging the team right now is a little bit premature. But we do know that as long as these people are in charge, don't hold your breath. That's for sure. That's for sure. Okay, so guys, anything else? It's going to be the same shit, or we just need to do it. I mean, probably, most likely, yes. Thoughts America, what's up? What's up? I think that's Nico. How you doing, my man? How you doing? I think that's it, guys, for today. I think we covered everything. Unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about, but for today, I think we covered everything. Let me think. Yeah, I think we covered everything. Okay, guys. So as I said, preview the match. Which match? Who are we playing? Versus Atalanta. Oof. My prediction is not going to be good. Actually, I'm curious to see the three at the back versus Atalanta. I'm curious to see that. But I think the midfield we'll lose the midfield for sure. There's no doubt in my mind that we'll lose the midfield. I have almost no doubt in my mind that we will lose the midfield. Um, Offensively speaking, is it home or away? And Andre, you know, Cooper Flag. Who's that? Cooper Flag. To me, I don't know who that is. Home. Yeah. So home will probably. I think it's going to be very, very different from what we saw versus Udinese because Atalanta is playing for something. Atalanta is playing to stay in the Champions League, to stay in the top four. So they're going to give us a fight. Udinese didn't give us a fight. I think it's going to be very different from what we saw against Udinese. One thing for sure is I don't know. We're going to lose in midfield for sure, but it could be one of those games, and I'm going to say something quite obvious. Who scores the most wins? It's going to be one of those games, probably. It's probably going to be one of those kind of games. And the more I think about it, the more I would go with a tie, probably. Maybe a tie. Am I confident in saying Milan can win it? I don't think so. I don't think so. Atalanta is a much better team right now than Milan. Much more organized, much more. much more. They're much more organized. They're much more in tune with each other. They have a better plan. They're much more. The chemistry is there. It's an uphill battle for Milan, but anything can happen. I would say my money goes on a tie X, and we have Inter midweek. We have Inter the semifinal. Okay. All right. So if Milan plays its second lines um to have the players against Inter be fresh, then we're losing for sure. 100%, we're losing this game. If Milan plays the first lines, then we have a chance even of winning it, but I think a tie. But if Milan plays the second lines, we're losing the game for sure because Atalanta is playing the best. Atalanta is playing the best team. Right, let's see what happens here with someone between management restructuring. In any case, as long as these are the hell, we'll probably have to repeat. I mean, that is the analysis, like it's hard to see a Milan with these guys at the helm be Milan. Guys, Milan is like a badass alpha team, right? Like Milan is one of those teams that puts fear in you. Milan puts fear in you. But as long as Fulani, Jerry Cardinale, and Mutada are there, not even freaking not even chickens are scared of Milan. These guys have zero aura. Aura is a real thing, guys. Aura is a real thing. And that's the issue. As long as these guys are in the helm, Milan has no aura. Conte is coming back to Juventus. Uh, says who? Conte had a very interesting press conference. Conte kind of like threw Napoli under the bus in the last press conference. He might be moving, yeah. He might be moving. The last press conference I thought was a little bit weird, especially right now, where you really need to motivate the players. I thought his last press conference was a little bit of a downer. He was talking about Napoli's limitations and how on Napoli there's certain things that you can't just achieve. I was like, is that really the right messaging you want to do right now? There's only 6 games left. Just why are you self-sabotaging yourself like this? I think he's really angry with. I think Conte. We know that Conte is the kind of guy, but once he gets angry, he stays angry. I think just the winter market messed him up, and he's not liking what happened there. But I think he's a little bit of a self-sabotage in the last press conference he had. What do you guys think? How do you guys think Milan will do versus Atalanta? Let me know. Conte will get to rally and everyone he needs to succeed again. I think he will win Scudetto with Conte next season with 95. Jesus, bro. Yeah. Guys, listen. One thing for sure is that there's not only Milan fans in Narnia, but there's Juve fans in Narnia. There's a lot of different kind of fans in Narnia. Um, Screenshot this. Screenshot that. Shabino. Screenshot that. If I were you, I would wait and see before stating something like that. I would wait and see because we don't know where Conte is going to go. We don't know where Tonali is going to go. Actually, one thing about Tonali that needs to be said: he's been absolutely killing it in the Premier League, and his price is going up and up and up. And now all of a sudden, Newcastle is like, "Yeah, we don't want to get rid of this guy." Hey, guys, I I do this. Go and check every Instagram post with Tonali on it or whatever. Him highlights, Tonali highlight. The Newcastle fans love him. They love him, bro. They're like, this guy is the best. We can never get this guy can must never leave. This guy's the best thing since they love Tonali. Of course they love him because He runs like a maniac for them. But yeah, it's going to be hard to get Tonali from Newcastle. It's going to be a good offer. Can you even do it? Yes, they can for sure. Are they going to do it? I don't know. I don't know. My guess for next season, but I don't know. I think it's stupid to predict next season already because the sun. You got to see what the Cubs do in the summer. You got to see what the Cubs do in the summer. You got to see what the Cubs do in the summer. You can't really guess how the season is going to go. You got to first see how the Cubs do in the summer, and then in August you can start to make normal predictions, like decent predictions. But anything before that is a little bit crazy. Juventus has a similar situation with Milan. They have a management that is very is not so tied to tradition and legacy. It's more like they're bankers, kind of same thing. Juventus is a very similar situation to Milan, actually. Maybe a little bit better than us, but it's similar. So I don't know if Juve is going to be it next season. One thing for sure, Inter is still going to be it. I mean, they make tons of money this year, so they don't need to sell anybody. They make tons of money this year with the semifinals of it. And if they make it into the finals of the Champions League, they're going to make even more money. Conte with Napoli, who are 10th, is going to win the league now. Yeah, but Spalletti with Napoli the year before was first. You know, it's the same team Spalletti had. The problem was that De Laurentiis got rid of Spalletti and brought in Jabronis. I think any good coach, any top level coach with Napoli can win this. Napoli has a great roster, fantastic roster. In Europe, you'll start, but you need to get back to the bread and butter first, which is Scudetto. They need to bring Italians. Juve is becoming too international. They sacrificed all their Italian players from the academies to bring in jabronis. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here with me today. We will do another live soon. And guys, soon, not yet. We still have 6 match days left. But as the season winds up, we're going to start going live. And we're going to start bringing more content and doing all of that stuff. Anyway, thank you everybody, and as always, guys, Forza Furlani, Forza Moncada, Forza Gianni Cardinale, always in our hearts. With you, we will fight forever. Peace out, love.